Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 403 The best place for cultivation. What? Xiaoyan was stunned when he heard this. He looked at the old man who had a mysterious smile on his face. He had no idea what the old man was talking about. Zhu Tianhou and Su Jiang also had puzzled expressions on their faces. They looked at Xiaoyan curiously. It's nothing. With a faint smile, the old man calmly walked forward. The smile on his face gradually faded. Qi-Yun and I have told you about the situation in Yunlo Academy. The 4 academies competition should be a competition among the younger generation. However, this matter concerns the future of the academy. I really can't stand idly by anymore. Su Jiang remained silent after hearing this. Although the Star Sky Academy wasn't as strong as this time, they weren't as powerful in the previous competitions. However, the Yunlo Academy was still no match for them and was easily defeated. Last time, Mu Yuyang had just entered the realm in Valley, so he didn't participate in the competition. He didn't expect that so many monstrous geniuses would appear in this competition. Do you know who will lead the Star Sky Academy this time? After pondering for a moment, the old man suddenly looked at Su Jiang and asked. Xing Chanyu. Su Jiang pursed his lips and said in a deep voice. His voice was full of bitterness. Humph, it's that old man. The old man shook his head helplessly when he heard this. Xing Chanyu was the deputy dean of Star Sky Academy, and he was very powerful. If he were to lead the team this time, the other 3 academies would think that he was the one leading the team. It's also a great deal of pressure. I'll have to trouble you this time. I want to protect the safety of the academy. Qi-Yun and Bai Hui are in charge of the overall situation of the academy, and they can't leave. There's no news from the dean either. Sighing, the old man gently patted Su Jiang's shoulder and said. The Yunlo Academy was built in the capital of chaos, which meant that it would be coveted by many major powers. Those powerful sect members were constantly watching every movement of the academy. If one of the old man and his friends left, the academy would definitely welcome a bloody purge. In terms of managing the academy, Elder Xiao was much better than Su Jiang. In this way, only Su Jiang could lead the team. Su Jiang nodded his head. He knew all the dangers faced by the Yunlo Academy like the back of his hand. Compared to the others, he was the most suitable candidate. Xing Chanyu has already advanced to the monic cultivation for many years. Given his disposition, he will certainly talk nonsense about the Yunlo. I know your temper, so you have to bear with it. Remember this. The old man looked at Su Jiang. His turbid eyes were filled with helplessness as he sighed. Clenching his teeth tightly, Su Jiang's cheeks puffed up. He took a deep breath and said slowly, Great Elder, don't worry. I know what to do. The old man nodded and didn't say anything else. He looked at Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou, stretched out his withered hand and said, Show me your weapons. Su Jiang turned around and looked at Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou. The Great Elder is quite accomplished in the field of weapon forging. He is very confident in raising the quality of ordinary heavenly weapons. If he is lucky, he can even advance a grade. First grade. Xiaoyan's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. When he was in the Xiao clan, the Great Elder of the Xiao clan had upgraded his blue flame ruler from a high-grade spirit weapon to a low-grade heavenly weapon, which had greatly increased the power of the blue flame ruler. No matter what, it should be enough for him to improve this time. While thinking, Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou took out their own heavenly weapon. It was a thick and long ruler and an ancient-looking spear. The old man narrowed his eyes after receiving the 2 heavenly weapons. The origin key in his hand flowed. He carefully sensed the ability contained within the 2 heavenly weapons. He slowly opened his eyes a moment later and looked at Xiaoyan with a smile. Grey Flame Iron. Brat, this heavenly soldier is extraordinary. Head Elder's words are too heavy. Xiaoyan's heart shivered when he heard this, and he hurriedly spoke. According to Elder Yi, the rarity of Grey Flame Iron was comparable to a saint's skill. In the great world, only the spirit domain had it. It was somewhat out of his expectation that the great elder in front of him could recognize this item. Don't worry, this is related to the Yunlo Academy. I will do my best. Elder Su, tell the elder in charge of the Spirit Pavilion to bring all the materials related to weapon crafting to the Heaven Pillar Peak. The smile on the elder's face disappeared, and he said with a serious expression. Yes, Su Jiang hurriedly responded. He looked at Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou and said with some hesitation, then these two. They will stay here and cultivate. There are still a few days until the forging of weapons is completed. If they can make some progress, it will be beneficial to the 4 academies' competition. You two, do you have any objections? Although he was asking the two of them, the old man had already turned around and walked towards the depths of the hall. There wasn't the slightest bit of discussion in his tone. We'll follow Grand Elder's arrangements. Zhu Tianhou exchanged a glance with Xiaoyan. The two of them shrugged and could only agree. Seeing that the two of them agreed, Su Jiang didn't say anything else. After bidding farewell to the great elder, he left in a hurry. They really didn't have much time left. After Su Jiang left, the great elder also entered the depths of the hall. In just a short period of time, only Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou were left in the huge hall. Have you noticed that the fire source here is very abundant? After absorbing refining Monic High Tianyan, Xiaoyan's ability to sense the fire source key became smoother and more natural. When he sensed the rich fire source key in the underground space, he said in a low voice. Zhu Tianhou was slightly shocked when he heard this. He frowned slightly and a flame pattern flashed between his brows. He nodded his head in surprise. The fire source key here was indeed several times denser than the outside world. No wonder they want us to stay, Zhu Tianhou muttered to himself. Then, he turned around and walked out of the hall. Compared to the inside of the hall, the fire source energy contained in the red magma below the stone bridge was even more violent. Xiaoyan smiled gently. The rich fire energy in the air entered his body, causing the origin monic crystal in his danshan to vibrate gently. It kept swallowing and swallowing origin monic kiss. The embryonic form of an origin chains, which was as thick as a forearm, had actually begun to show signs of appearing. After walking out of the hall with Zhu Tianhou, they looked towards the stone bridge. As expected, there were 2 cultivation platforms that had appeared out of nowhere below. They stood firmly on the red magma. The magma rolled and flowed, but the cultivation platforms did not budge at all. Xiaoyan landed on one of the cultivation platforms first. Zhu Tianhou followed closely behind, occupying another cultivation platform. The cultivation platform sank slightly, but it didn't move again. He sat down cross-legged and borrowed the help of the monic flame in his body. Xiaoyan instantly felt that his surroundings were endless. A fire source key lingered around him, seemingly about to devour him. Qi, after slightly circulating the flame mantra burning spell, endless fire source energy surged from all directions into Xiaoyan's body. It flowed through all the pores on his body and into the origin monic crystal through the meridians of the flame mantra burning spell. In an instant, a large amount of pure origin monic kiss was sucked out, and the embryonic form of an origin chains became even more obvious. While Xiaoyan was amazed by the efficiency of his cultivation, Zhu Tianhou, who was standing in the distance, also widened his eyes in surprise. The fire source key here was the best cultivation origin key for his sacred spirit fire body. It could be absorbed by the origin monic crystal without refining it. It was much more efficient than his previous cultivation. In the depths of the hall, the old man looked at the 2 divine weapons on the wooden table. He let out a light sigh, and in his turbid eyes. For the first time in his life, he had let Xiaoyan and Zhu Tianhou cultivate here. It was because he could clearly see the density of the fire source key in their bodies, especially Xiaoyan. It was the guy who surprised him back then. The origin monic key in his body was the combination of yin and yang. The fire source key in this place was definitely the best cultivation item for him. It was even smoother than the little guy who had the sacred spirit fire body. This time, I don't dare to fail again. In the depths of the dim hall, the old man with white hair mumbled to himself. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.